Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast Dragon Ball edition. Today we are here with our monthly Dragon Ball episode. We have the Dragon Ball expert with us, Mr. Mitch Oso. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I am doing well, man. We just officially started March Madness at the time of recording, and also we are exactly 30 days from now. We're Battle Hour because Battle Hour is supposed to be around the 18th, 19th. They were recording on the 19th. So exactly one month away, which is kind of crazy.
Yep. Time sure flies from whenever we were, having our live stream there back in, what was that, February? No, January.
January, yeah.
January. And yep, before we know it, Battle Hour will be here and then, well, it'll be the end of the year too, and we'll be gearing up for the anime
Yep.
return. So
Yep. We'll have a whole new news of stuff. We'll find out about Dragon Ball 1000, which since we were away, we think a intern probably lost their job because of
their
potentially
internship, yeah.
potentially it came out leaked as like a Xeno it came out like on a Xenoverse 3 like playlist. Obviously, if that's what it's supposed to be, that intern is gone.
It makes sense too that it would be Xenoverse 3.
Oh yeah.
Um, just I know that's what we had predicted. That the next game would be Xenoverse 3, if
Mhm.
I recall our predictions there correctly. Did it did kind of feel like um we were like wrong whenever all they announced was just it was age 1000 or whatnot, and but seems like that prediction is gearing up to be true. But we'll find out more of that next month. And yeah, Xenoverse 3, man.
Yeah.
Xenoverse 3, and that is just a created character, probably. Um, so all of those people thinking that, that is the son of Broly in Chile, or I don't know what kind of fucker everybody was on.
They're calling him the last son of Toriyama. That's his nickname.
I mean, oh, okay. I mean, just
That's what the community's calling him because they're saying he's the last creation of Toriyama, so the
yeah,
last son.
yeah. And then once the manga returns and we see some henchman that works with Black Frieza, or we see the guys of Universe 1, and we'll see the little slap that they put down on the hype train of an original Toriyama work, because Toriyama drew something on a napkin probably back in 1999, and they just found it in his keepsake. I don't know. I'm pro.
That's the funny stuff, but that's more for next time. So obviously, in the spirit of March Madness, just got some questions for Mitch in the tournament thing. Like, if you could just change 3 to 5 things in any tournament, saga, or event in Dragon Ball, what would you have changed? This could be different characters entering certain tournaments, different results, different paths to a championship. It could be anything. What would you change, Mitch? 3 to 5 things.
3 to 5 things. I think the easiest target with all of this is the Tournament of Power,
Hmm.
mainly because you know how like different it was to the manga,
Hmm.
and both the manga and the anime did things right and wrong, so you could easily pick and choose the moments from that.
Hmm.
But also the Tournament of Power is the most fresh, like in your mind. Like
Hmm.
if you wanted to go back to Dragon Ball, unless you're like you have the entire arcs like memorized or whatnot, it can be hard to think of that. But the Tournament of Power,
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think even back to the Cell Saga, or even at the beginning of the Boo Saga. I'm trying to be original with my ideas and not pick on the Tournament of Power.
I
Um,
do. I do have I think I have three from Tournament of Power specific. I mean, one I'll get out of the way. Obviously, I've said this for many, many years on this thing, and people have beat it with a drum, so I won't go too much into it. Obviously, having future Trunks in the Tournament of Power. I
Right.
mean, Sparking Zero, they had a story mode that if Trunks entered the Tournament of Power, so obviously they've heard all the noise of that. My second one that I thought about today, Mitch, with Goku and Topo's exhibition match, I think it would have added so much more spice, and I literally thought about this hours ago. If they didn't tell everyone that if your team got eliminated, your universe got eliminated.
So just whenever they either A showed up to the Tournament of Power, they found out, or whenever that universe was eliminated, they're like, "Oh, here's your prize." Like,
Yes. Yeah. Like imagine what after Goku and Vegeta eliminate Universe 9, they're like, oh, we're darn, we're out. Yep. But by the way, since you're if could you imagine the shock if that would have happened, like for them as characters and us as fans, if like, oh yeah, since your team's gone, your universe is gone.
yeah, we
That would
would
have
have.
been crazy.
Yeah, that would have made my eyes pop out of my head if I read the final, pages of that
Hmm.
particular chapter, and it was like losing universes are erased, and then everyone else is just completely stunned and confused by what they just heard, and then out of nowhere, you know, universe 9 is just completely just wiped off, you know.
Yeah, because it could be like, oh, where'd they go? Did Grand Prix send them back home? Oh no, I erased. No, they got erased. Wait, what?
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing we forgot to tell you guys. If you don't win, you're gone forever. Oh my, bro, that would have been so wild.
Yeah, that would have been pretty insane. With the Tournament of Power in general, I know like I could instantly say I wish the anime did like, Gohan Kefla,
Hmm.
correct? Like, like that would make more sense logically, but like I would almost wish that the Tournament of Power could have been redone, but like Universe 7 didn't just body everybody. Like I wish Universe 7 like their numbers would have dwindled and it would have gotten real like sketchy, but then we could have also seen other universes take other universes out,
Do
because
you
if
wish
I
then that it was more to force other universes to take other universes out? Do you wish it was more bracket style?
maybe, but like if I recall correctly, um I think Universe 7 had oh, they had a majority obviously of all of the eliminations,
Hmm.
but like I almost think Universe 7 had the kill shot for every universe.
Yes, it did.
So it was like maybe a rivalry would have built up between Universe 3 and 2,
Hmm.
and then like we kind of could have seen how that one would have ended if, let's say, 3 just beats 2. It was
Hmm.
like just a little more. I wanted to see just how other people fight other people. Maybe that would have made it seem more realistic or whatnot.
I think that would have been really, really cool. And you brought up the Gohan Kefla thing. Man, I would have traded just because I don't get why all of a sudden they made seven like, no one cared about Android 17 as a character for real until the Tournament of Power. They're like, oh, 17, the MVP. I was just like, any other person could have fit that spot. Like I personally would have had maybe Gohan, and then
Right,
maybe Gohan obviously doesn't get Beast at that time, but maybe you see a hint of it. So you're
right.
like, oh, Gohan has something
Brewing.
hidden,
Yeah,
brewing. And again, I know another one we've talked about a billion times. We would not have had MUI. Just I don't think it should have showed up at the end. It could have been a great goal for Goku to keep reaching to get to MUI because now once he got MUI, they're like, oh yeah, you're at the bottom of MUI. You got to work your way up. Like, but in the Tournament of Power, you said MUI was it.
right. Yeah, I would say like MUI could have made an appearance, but um like the spirit bomb. Like
Hmm.
that moment that like not MUI, just UI just showed up. That would have been fine, I would say. Or or going back to that one thought that people had, and that was, Vegeta's going to
Hmm.
master offensive MUI, Goku's going to be defensive, and then that's how they're going to get through it. Like that would be sweet because even if they mastered both sides of like MUI, like later on down the road, you would just have each one holding a piece of the puzzle,
Hmm.
and they need to work together to get through their situation. And now later on, they'd figure it, blah, whatever it might be. But like that would have been cool. But yeah, MUI, maybe not MUI, and just sign or omen, whatever we called it back then. I had another one just now. What was it? Oh, I wish in the Tournament of Power, I wish the other universes were stronger.
Hmm.
Because I just didn't like the fact that Universe 7 was, second on the totem, or like the bottom of the ship pile. But they just, for the most part, just bodied everybody.
Yeah.
So it was like, I know I've mentioned in the past, like, man, those other four universes, they got power scaling that's astronomically better than what universe 10 was all about. Like
Hmm.
they were going up, or 11, I forget which one of the Pride Troopers, I think 11. But like seeing how all the other universes that are supposed to be significantly stronger than 7 just got their ass whooped. I'm
Hmm.
like, some days I wonder if 1 through 4 or the four other ones are actually even that good. So,
Yeah.
like, but trying to think of something from um
No, I kind of wish, even though it's non-consequential, I kind of wish they had like a little filler arc where we actually got to see the World Tournament Hercule won. Like, who else was in that tournament?
oh, you mean when, yeah, he won it. Yeah, oh yeah. Because it would have been nice. Honestly, it would probably have given Hercule more credit
Hmm.
if he fought some of the participants in the previous, like back in Dragon Ball. I
Hmm.
mean, like, even if it was like bacteria, for example, or um, what was the guy that was trying to get water for his tribe? Nam?
Nom.
Nam. Like it'd be cool to see Nam return. Um, and so on. So yeah, like a tournament that could either show Hercule and his like fighting side, or show maybe how he manipulated his way to the championship.
Yeah. Because also that's the tournament too where that's the tournament he beats Popovich, right? Because that's the one where he hates him so much from
I
that.
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that sends him down that path of being a complete a-hole. Uh, just just primed up for Bobby to take control.
And you said the manipulation. I mean, that I would enjoy even just seeing all those tournaments after Z and whatnot of how Hercule still remains champ, obviously with Boo, but that lasts, I know, because it's end of Z, and I'm assuming obviously Hercule wins because he's still the world champ. Who did Boo have to go through? Like who did Boo fight in that last tournament when Goku left with Oob? Like, did Vegeta keep fighting? Did we get a Vegeta versus Boo rematch? Did he stop after Goku left? Like, did Goten, Trunks, all of those guys, like what is actually the end result of the tournament before at the end of Z?
Yeah. Yeah, I like to see the rest of that. You got me even thinking of the tournaments that are in Otherworld or the
Hmm.
ones that are in the movies.
Hmm.
Because like BoJack, whenever they had that weird off-brand. tournament, the one where we saw Tien and Future Trunks going at it.
Hmm.
I wanted to see like more of that one or the other world like against Janempa, like
Hmm.
with PyCon and Goku's rematch. Or um I'm trying to think what else. What other ones? Um
Even though I know why Tien had to fight Goku like the rematch, because obviously Tien won the first time
yeah.
they fought in the tournament. Dude, I would have loved to see Yamcha actually get a significant win in the tournament. Like if he
Yeah.
would have beat Tien, like I was thinking about that.
Yeah, Yamcha, all jokes aside, he should have got more or we should have had more success in the tournament because I don't think any of them he did anything. I think I think
No,
the very first one he got embarrassed to establish um
Tien. Or
no
is that?
in the in the first tournament. Did he face Jackie?
Yeah, I think he fought Jackie Chun
Yeah.
Masaroshi. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other fight was Krill and Goku. Um
Mhm.
but yeah, TN should have had a good a better showing at least on one of the tournaments, but
Because
that
they
I
never
can't recall.
established. Because was it before the Goku Piccolo or Hercule, whatever stuff was that term supposed to be every 4 years?
Yeah,
So then what? I'm just trying to think that in the Super era, because obviously N to Z, we know Hercule them are still doing it because Boo, but does Videl enter? I mean, Videl's she's a martial arts instructor, or like TN's people. Do TN's people enter these tournaments as also another martial arts
right.
instructor? Like, how far do these type of people go? Do they ever? Obviously, they don't because they would probably been in the story. But do they ever find anyone of like promise where they're like, oh, you could be like a backup Z fighter because you've been training. So,
Right. I'll tell you, a tournament or an event that needs completely redone is that exhibition match between 7 and 6.
mm,
Because like say what we want about Flubber Bear, I forget what his name is, or a Hothead. Can't recall
mhm,
their names. That's how horrible they were. Like your Saiyans were embarrassing, and none of them go Super Saiyan,
mhm,
and even Frieza doesn't, or Frost doesn't go past like final form, like Namek final form. So it's like your Saiyans and your Frieza's race are already significantly ahead of the curve.
mhm,
So it's like once they realized Frost was cheating, it didn't take long to smoke his ass out. And Vegeta against Kaba like had to teach him in the middle of a fight how to go Super Saiyan, only to show him that they were 5 transformations in front of him already. You know? It's like it would have been cool if like Kaba and them had Super Saiyan 4 instead.
mhm,
They were like they'd be like, yeah, we've been able to transform into Super Saiyan. Yeah, like our entire race learned. Yeah, a Super Saiyan bargain sale. Yeah, our entire race learns that in kindergarten. But only a select few of us elites have gotten to Super Saiyan 4.
mhm,
And then Kaba transforms. And then Vegeta's like, I have no idea what in the hell that is. And then this is the peak of what we got. Then he goes
mhm.
blue. And then we got this insane story. But no, we don't get that. We get watered down versions of our main characters We get a character in Hit who is kind of sweet, but it really doesn't make sense how Goku can figure out to fight somebody who's traversing time.
Yeah.
And our only surprise that we're being kind of fed is Manaka and his fat tits, supposedly being the strongest, but he's actually not.
Right, right.
So it's like that whole thing could be redone, I think.
Yeah, or
I'd almost fix all of that before I would fix the tournament power.
no, that's fair. And even just that, having another expedition with a different universe with the fixes. Like if you're not gonna go back and fix that, just fix that and have a different universe. Have an
Right.
exhibition with one of those top universes that weren't in the Tournament of Power. I mean, that's a very Goku thing to do. Like, hey, those universes that weren't in because their whatever power thing was too high, can we reach out to them and have an exhibition as the winner of the Tournament of Power? I feel like that is. I
Or
feel like
just go
that's
see it.
logical. Yeah.
Just go see them. Be like, hey, can we go see? I'm just curious what's going on in this universe and why there's so much significantly power. And then, like, they would show up and then they realize that everybody is stronger than them. Like,
Hmm.
hundreds of people are stronger than thousands, like planets of people that are significantly stronger. And then you're like, oh shit. An exhibition would get us all fucking killed. I don't know. Just like hype them up. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. So, I mean, Mitch, any other things?
in terms of the tournament stuff, um, mm-mm.
Okay. And but also for the people. Let us know what you would change. I know there's obviously some results some people would want change, like with certain eliminations and things like that. So, let us know and comments wherever you listen to. Mitch, the other thing I had on here is just we already talked about Bauer 1 month away, two other things that will be done. Our Dragon Ball fans idiots. The reason I brought this up, man, is because past month, just on the social medias, it always comes up every now and again, but I feel like it came up more frequently. I think Dragon Ball fans are really the only anime fans that truly get on someone within their own fandom about how they enjoy watching Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
I'm referring to the sub versus dub dumb argument, and I'm just sitting there watching these people bitch and berate one way or another, and I'm just like, dude, no other fandom does this when it
right.
comes to subbed and dub. Naruto don't do it. Yu-Gi-Oh don't. Digimon like I don't
Yeah, I don't.
understand why Dragon Ball is the one that always bitches about it.
Yeah, they and they're cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
They're cutthroat. And now, while you say sub dub, and maybe you see that more often than
Mm-hmm.
me, I see original dub versus Kai.
I see that one too, yeah. And that's where they're just
Like
like, oh, like I can't believe like listen.
like how many times on YouTube Shorts I'm scrolling through and I get a scene where it's a side by side of what happened between the two, and then I'm in the comments and people are just trashing one or the other, and it's like I don't understand why people can't like, why does theirs have to be better
Mm-hmm.
than somebody else's? Because I love OG. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and again, I haven't watched it subbed, so I can't relate to what you had brought up. But in terms of like OG, OG is what got me sucked in. Now, granted, like now that I'm older, and I even have seen bits of Kai or read bits of the manga. Yeah, the dub has sometimes some silly explanations on things,
Mm-hmm.
but like that doesn't bother me. It's I enjoy it. Sometimes I think that's canon. Some people will be like, it's not canon. Um, whatever. But I don't want to say they're idiots, but they're just too either people are too defensive and just don't understand that you can have an open dialogue and your opinion does not need to be the concrete proof. Um, People are unable to do that, or there's too many trolls out there who sit on the computer and all they want to do is just piss you off and get a reaction.
I think the one argument I truly hate the most is like where people try and I think maybe it's a more new fan or whatnot, where they're like, "Oh, I can't believe they said this like in the OG thing. This isn't what they said in blah blah blah." Or they
Hmm.
butchered this, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, and I hate this with Dragon Ball fans. Is like you forget what it was like when you were a child. Like you're saying it like now as
Right,
an adult.
right.
Like take like that's what pisses me off. When you were 8 or whatever, you did not give a shit what was being
No, it
said.
was
Like,
great. You probably did not even find it funny. Like in
yeah,
those goofy ones. You probably took that so serious.
yeah. And it's like it's different. It's different now than then. Like obviously then, and people are like, "Oh yeah, I had I shut up." Like back
I
then, most people did not have like, parents, especially, did not let their kids get on the internet. You didn't have internet access, all like that. The mangas weren't easily accessible, all like that. That they are now. So that irritates me. Saying like, "Oh, I'm no, no, you didn't." Um,
I didn't
and
even know what
just
a manga was when the anime was out.
yes,
Like like in 1997, I'm like 6 years old. I I can hardly read Dr. Seuss books, and people are like, "Oh, the OG anime was so much different than the manga." Bitch, listen. As far as I'm concerned, that was my Bible. Like in
hmm
terms of it was like in video form. Like that is what I took as the truth. So however you want to tweak it, it's like that is as real as it gets for me.
yeah. And I also think too, like I always go back now and be like, "Oh yeah, they had to dumb it down or whatever for kids and all of this, and make it more kid friendly." And I was like, do you think back in the 90s where parents were a little bit more strict than they are now, that if they just saw a cartoon of like Cell breaking Piccolo's neck, that they were gonna let kids watch? Like,
Right?
to like, I mean, it
Like,
was still, I mean, I still remember people were dying, they were getting blown to smithereens, and they're like, sure, they edited some things and all of that. The purpose is to get kids in. Like, you're looking from the business aspects. I mean, we're old enough where to bring families and kids in, WWE changed from the Attitude Era to PG.
right? It's
So,
like uh, like when they say that too, and they're like, yeah, they had to dumb it down for American audiences, and they didn't do that around the world. The world is different. Everywhere you go, everything is different.
mhm,
Like we have talked in the past about the differences between America and Japan,
mhm,
just overall in general, with how they the one thing that we've always talked about is, you know, they don't in Japan, you're not allowed to have the expressive freedom in America to make like parodies, for example.
mhm.
Like it's literally just a complete cultural difference that every company had to shift towards. And they dumb it down, maybe. Um, did they make it more kid friendly, like less blood or maybe, but I mean, at that time they were creating the ESRB for video games because Doom like set the tone of um of how games can be, brutal. Mortal Kombat had to get if you played Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis, for example, and then went and played it on the Super Nintendo, they're completely different games. Okay,
Mhm.
that's a stretch, but they're different games. Fatalities are completely different in both games, completely watered down for American audiences. Well, in general for the Super Nintendo because it's supposed to be a friendly console, but it's people need to buzz off and you just need to relax.
Yeah, and it always starts with like this is how it always it's a more obviously it's a more societal thing where it's like, oh, just because someone's giving props to something doesn't mean you have to try and put down the other thing. Like obviously the thing that always starts it off is like Goku, the voice acting. It's like, oh, I rather listen to Sean more than Azara. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then if someone says that, they're like, oh, well, X amount doesn't get to say these lines because it's butchered. Or if someone's like, oh, I'd rather listen to Azara than Sean, it's like, okay, that is fine too. I mean, I
You
I
know,
enjoy I enjoy both. I have no issues with both, but in my head, when I think of Goku, I think of Sean because I live in America. That is the voice that
right,
I've
right,
heard, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, to be honest, I didn't watch subbed Dragon Ball until Super because we had all the stuff out in America.
right.
So like that one always pisses me off. I'm like, bro, you can like both. There's literally a picture of them like
Another
together.
another one that pisses me off is when people trash the music
Oh my God. Yeah.
because because they like Bruce Falconer and like
Hmm.
his crew, like if you speak to somebody who loves the sub, they might absolutely think that um Bruce's music, and I say Bruce's music, just know for anyone listening, I'm talking about that whole crew, not just
Hmm.
Bruce. Anyways, that's another topic that we've discussed. But like they think that Bruce's music takes away from scenes when maybe like a moment of silence builds
Hmm.
up like tension for it. But I'll tell you, maybe if that's how I experienced it first, maybe I'd have appreciation of it. Kind of do nowadays. But I'll tell you, whenever I'm listening to that guitar absolutely shred, I am I'm going to a place in my mind that no AMV could ever take me with 3 days grace or, three doors down, whatever. Like I am amped. I am ready to watch people fight and listening to the most hardcore soundtrack I've ever experienced in my life. And like the silence, like a silence can almost make it awkward, like for me. But I don't trash people who like that. I don't think any of us should trash. That's that's the medium in which you enjoy it. So enjoy it. Don't trash other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, and back to my other thing too, there's a lot of people who weren't alive during that time. So you are you're alive during like the current. Obviously, anime is one of the hottest things in the world now. So you're alive during this boom. And then there's some people. Oh my God, I almost flipped shit. And these people are some of these. I mean, one person's like, "Oh, Dragon Ball would still be as big as it is now, even without Toonami." I was like, "Get the fuck out of it! That's
No.
enough. That's a lie. That is just a blatant lie."
There would need to be something like if Toonami didn't exist, something like Toonami would had to exist. Like like
We
Toonami,
should have just had their anniversary. Shout out Toonami.
it's in my mind, Toonami just wasn't. If you just had normal running TV shows in their time slots, I just don't think that you would you wouldn't have that level of success because Toonami itself was a was I don't want to say like an event or
It's a culturing. It's a cultural shifting era of television.
correct. Um, it was a way to bring people together for different things of anime.
Hmm.
So like, okay. you're into Dragon Ball. Well, here comes um what like Ronin Warriors
Yep.
or Gundam, for
Yep.
example.
Yep.
Like if I was just to go and talk to my friends and I'm like, oh yeah, Gundam's sweet. Yeah,
Hmm.
it comes on at 5:30.
Shoot. So we've been talking about, which maybe that's a whole other podcast. Zoids. That's how you
Zoids.
found these things.
Zoids. And but how I find that is whenever I'm talking to my friends, I'm like, bro, Toonami has all of this cool shit on it.
Hmm.
And then that just drags you in, and then you get sucked in because um you just get exposed to so many things. And once you get sucked in, then it just elevates everything that's in it. So
Yeah.
Toonami got everybody involved,
I
and
don't.
then it just helped in America.
Yeah, it changed everything. And people saying it didn't, or just either weren't alive during that time, or just trying to sound hip for these younger folk because it's just a stupid take. And again, y'all, if you weren't there, you forget. For people like our age, you did not just have a Crunchyroll where you paid $60 whatever a year and you had access to every anime in the universe. That is not
Right.
the case back in the early 90s. Like it's not the truth. It's factually not true. And no parent was just going to be like, well, I'm gonna pay $60 for what? Like Netflix and stuff wasn't even the
Right.
stuff it was then. Like blah, like it's just a lie. It's we did not have the stuff then, and for people, younger people now who are in the anime boom, you don't know how good you have it now that you could just be like, oh, I could go on Crunchyroll and find a show because someone recommended to me and watch, or I can go on whatever X pirate site or ever and watch. It's not like back then, all 30 plus. No,
The
hey,
internet was not developed.
you need to if you're gonna want to watch this show, you need to get your butt there after school, 5 to 7,
And
and watch it. Without Tsunami Bro, anime would not be as big as it was and how it is now in the States. And obviously, because for people who don't know, they saw the TV ratings and all the
right.
merchandise sales, so there's a reason that went as long as it did before, like you said, the internet boom. I just don't understand why people it's just the Dragon Ball fans who say stupid shit like this.
Uh, it's it's probably it's not any one of the L7C. The people that listen to this, they're pretty down to earth and got a pretty decent sized brain between their ears. But like I think it's just a bunch of assholes just trying to, just farm engagement
Yeah.
for themselves. It probably just is. Um, it's easier to get people to react to what you say when it's something that goes against what they're thinking versus if you naturally agree with them.
Yeah, because they're like,
And
oh, play
you know
the play
the one
this,
that
watch the sub with the subtitles and the thing. I was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I get whatever. There is no way I am watching Majin Vegeta not in dubbed. I don't care. Like the speeches he
right,
was giving, and that was no, I don't care.
right, and maybe and sometimes whenever I watch those side by sides, Kai does it better, like verbally,
But they've
like
also, but that context matters. They have more
yeah,
liberty now than they did then.
right. So it's like, but then some things in the original, like what you just like said with how Vegeta at the tournament, like sometimes the more passion
Hmm.
from some of those speeches that were not word for word from the manga just hit harder.
Yeah.
It's that. I'll say this one other thing about Toonami. Sometimes Toonami did things that, for me living in a small town of 4,000 people,
Hmm.
I don't know. I didn't have a Blockbuster, like a
Right.
large, big chain um, video rental company. So maybe like Family Video, like I don't know what it was for you living in a larger city, but like Toonami was actually the only way I even knew that there were movies, Dragon Ball movies, because my small town video shop didn't have it, didn't have those movies on on the shelf. So,
So I would say on the flip side of your thing, yes, I lived in a bigger town, but I also had significantly stricter parents. So I didn't
right.
get to like they like go to Blockbuster. What do you for what? Go to your room and do some homework or do and like, oh,
Yeah.
homework's already
Or
done.
go get a
Okay.
movie that's on the shelf right now. Like,
Yep,
what are we?
yeah. So it's like that was the only reason I knew there were movies either, just from a
Right.
different thing. So yeah,
hmm So it's yeah, Toonami, yeah, Toonami, yeah. I think praise the powers that be for Toonami. It was a big step towards where we are now.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's just what I kept seeing. I was like, what is with this fan? Like, I'm just seeing it's just Twitter. Obviously, it's just stuff popping on my algorithm, but I'm just reading some comments. I'm like, dog. In the end of the
People are
day, Dragon
passionate.
Ball is Dragon Ball. Like, it's
Like
okay.
it's and I just can't believe whenever I read the comments just how objective like people think that their thoughts are.
Hmm.
Like it just blows my mind that it's just they're just they're just that hard line on that thought. So like their way or no way. And I'm like,
And I was like, oh.
why
Like
don't
20
what
something year olds like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you have the internet now. Or 50-year-olds now say, oh, I had access to the Dragon Ball mangas and stuff.
oh
Okay,
and
you were an adult back in the 90s. Anyone from like 35 to 20, no, our parents weren't giving us that shit. Toonami was literally the only way.
I hate it though whenever they're like they think that if like the other ways of watching this stuff has like ruined it for it was like oh if you enjoy OG you don't understand that that your product almost killed the entire franchise or like somebody was like oh I hate Kai so much I can't believe we even got Super with it. It's like come on, come on. Dragon Ball is so good that all of this stuff collectively makes it even better.
Yeah, at the end
Like,
of the day, for me, if you mute Bill, does Gohan still kill Cell? Does Boo still get does any like that's the thing? Does Super Spirit Bomb still hit Boo? Does Gohan still go Super Saiyan 2? It matters sub, dubbed, Kai. Does does the scenes change? Obviously some blood, but does the main story, if you just watch it in mute, are they still dying? Yes. Okay, then keep it moving, dude. Like
you
whatever,
know,
however your audio ears want to enjoy it, that's fine. You shouldn't bitch to anyone about my thing is like when you could tell someone doesn't want an opinion and then you give it, they're like, hey, like I said earlier, like you said, you like Bruce's music. That's cool. But then the idiots are like, but let me tell you why no, no one's asking. You're not asking for that.
you could probably find somebody who watched the anime Ghost Stories
Hmm.
and they probably watched it sub and they're
Yep.
like, "Oh, this is a great ghost mystery story. I love it." And then you probably find that same person that's watched the dub
Hmm.
and they probably laugh their ass off for it and they probably as a community think both of these are amazing.
Yeah.
And I hope everybody can enjoy both of these at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's
Like
why they probably would have a healthier community than Dragon Ball.
it's true. It's true. Like I never hear anyone. Well, it's just terrible because it's like again, we've watched sub and dub. Like we already said, we saw when we grew up, we saw Dragon Ball Z dub, we saw Dragon Ball dub first, we saw GT dub first because that's where we're in America during our time frame. It wasn't until Super where we watched Super subbed first. Hell, we watched Super first without the subtitles and didn't know what the fuck was going on. Then got the subtitles, then watched it dub just because it was coming out before dub. But I see no other fandoms where like they both have legendary voice actors on both sides bitching. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! I never see anyone bitch about Dan Green versus the Japanese voice actor or Eric who plays Kaiba in English versus the Japanese voice actor. No one bitches about,
Mm-mm.
or like the Naruto voice act. Like no one bitches. No one in the fandom's like, oh, I prefer. And I mean, it's only fucking Dragon Ball,
Right.
and it's so annoying. But now just my PSA because it's like, hey man, Dragon Ball is Dragon Ball. And honestly, let's just be honest, being literal, they don't give a fuck what you watching in because as soon as you turn it on, the money's coming to them anyway. So they don't care as long as you're consuming it.
Right.
So
Agreed.
that's all that. But to end the thing, just want to give that PSA to the fandom, like, hey, I know you already said it's not people who listen to this, but people who are sheep to other people who talk Dragon Ball. Mitch Sanday just passed. What's Saiyan to end the thing? Would you want more backstory or more story about?
Mm, a Saiyan. I'd like to know more about King Vegeta.
Okay. It's funny.
No,
I went that way too because obviously in Broly's movie was the first time we got to see Goku's mom, which is funny. But
I have another
Vegeta's
one, but
mom,
yeah. Yeah, just Vegeta's like family,
yeah,
just his lineage.
because
Um, I would want to know about like whatever his name is, the first Super Saiyan, of
oh,
course.
Super Saiyan got Yamoshi, where that just basically almost
Well,
got canned.
right. I will say this though, because this just came into my mind. I didn't have this thought even prior. I will say that if they did do that, I almost wonder if the people would consider that almost copying Avatar.
Mm,
Because whenever like the Legend of Korra,
hmm
and that we find out about the first Avatar, was it Wan? I think Wan, I think was the first Avatar,
hmm
but it'd almost be a you know kind of a copy and paste of that. But yeah, I think we're in agreement then with Vegeta's um family would be nice to get more information on. I want to know. I almost want to say I want to know what Bardock is doing now. Um, like is he probably doesn't have his body. Now, granted,
No.
depending on what version of hell we're talking about, Z or whatever. Um, yeah, I that's what I'm thinking. I don't care about Vegeta's brother. Um,
But we found out through a movie
yeah, through
or an
with
OVA or whatever you want to say.
yep. I would if like Turles was like canon, maybe a little bit more. Like, why does a Saiyan use the fruit from a tree to get more powerful? Whenever
Hmm
that's not anything that we've seen from a Saiyan. Like, right? Is he just, a Saiyan that abandoned the race, and he's with that I don't know, Guardians of Galaxy, like a Ravager group. Um, like, why is he with them? Um, but there's that. Um,
Just more on the Vegeta's mom thing. I would just want to see more like who was the strongest female Saiyan at the time because again, I've only seen two. Well, before obviously Goku and Vegeta had a family, I've only seen two female Saiyans talk in my entire life. One was Fasha, and that was literally for three-fourths of my entire life until Dragon Ball Super Broly when I heard Goku's mom Jine talk for the first time. Like those are the only two like pure-blooded Saiyans
right,
before Super. Well, obviously with KO, Caulifla, and Kefla but they're a different universe. Like I would want to see like Universe 7, like who was your strongest female like Sans at the time? Did they get sent out? Did Fasha have to like really be exceptional to have a female Saiyan out there on Barak's crew? Did they not give a shit about stuff like that? Like that's what I would want to know because wow, just saying that those were the only two full-blooded Saiyans I've ever heard speak in Universe 7 is crazy.
right.
Women, so
Um, if it was actually canon. and not just a promotion. I would love to know more about Cumber.
Yeah.
I want to know why there's just a random Saiyan who, in like base form, can absolutely go toe to toe with Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. That'd be cool to understand.
Yeah.
Uh, but he's obviously not canon at all. Um,
Yeah, those are some cool,
and then
like,
Universe
things.
6 is people. Like, I just want to know more about what's going on there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a given.
why do they suck? Why are they all alive, but they're all trash? Or, like, has Kaba gone back after the Tournament of Power and was like, yeah, we all got smoked by everybody there. I need to get all of Planet Sadala up to par and get everyone going Super Saiyan.
So yeah, which would be crazy. That's something we've never seen, an army of Super Saiyans.
Yeah, a planet of Super Saiyans. Not even
Hmm.
an army, a planet. Like, like the only thing that's even comparable, and I mean this as a stretch, is when Universe 6 took all of their Namekians and put them into two.
Hmm.
But like, oh man.
And there's still
Could you
lots to be done
imagine
with those
Frieza
Saiyans.
pulling up to the Saiyan homeworld and instead of getting what he had in Universe 7 with a whole bunch of people that couldn't even beat Pui Pui,
Hmm.
um, he gets an entire planet of Super Saiyans blasting his ass to, I don't know, the moon.
Oh, geez, that'd be
Hilarious.
crazy. Well, that's really it. Mitch, anything else, man? We had some lot of poignant, good conversations just about the fandom and stuff of that nature.
I was not expecting us to go to full hour. I thought this had been done in 20 minutes, but yeah, that was a good conversation of uh, good thought provoking topics.
Just to understand how the biggest anime fandom in history always is the ones that bitching about simple shit.
Engagement farming. I'm convinced.
That's true. With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Let us know what you think of the fandom, things that you may like, may not like, may want to change, what you would want to change in tournaments and stuff, and what sand would you want a more fleshed out, maybe backstory, future story? You saw how we stayed away from everyone from Universe 7 because we get them all the time. So, from the main cast. So, with that being said, y'all just let us know too. With that being said, y'all take care. Bye bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.